You are listening to episode 147 of the Peaceful Mind Podcast. Welcome to the Peaceful Mind Podcast, a place for creating the peace of mind you need to be the best mom you are created by God to be. If you want to bring more balance, more joy, and more peace to your motherhood, this is the place for you. I'm your host, certified life coach and Catholic mom, Danielle Thienel. In the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, let's get started. Hello and welcome back. To all those who are listening to this in real time, I am returning. We're here in December of 2022, and I'm returning back to regular scheduled programming. And what that means to those of you who are new or listening to this later at some future time, I have just finished submitting or giving to you 30 days of podcasts that surrounded 30-day path to a peaceful mind. I hope you enjoyed it. It was something new. I got a lot of great feedback from all of you, but I'm ready to dive back into how I usually show up in your podcast app. And this month, we are going to be focusing on some topics that are going to help you have a more peace of mind in your life and in your busy mom life around the holidays, because that's what's top of my mind. And I know that that's what you could use help on today. So the title of this podcast is Holidays Made Easy. And what I want to offer you at the beginning is that I'm going to let you know some strategies and my top 3 things to focus on to bring the most ease that you've ever felt through your holiday season. However, I also know that if you've clicked on this episode and it is not holiday time when you are listening, of course, what I have to offer is beneficial to you at any time. You can just apply these to any events. In fact, I could name it How to Have the Most Easeful Summer. And you still would take what I want to help you with, and it would directly apply. So let's go ahead and dive in. I want to focus on 3 subjects to help you have a more easeful holiday season, or really, truly any season of life that you're going through. And so the first one is your future self. We have a version of ourselves that is where we want to be, how we want to experience life, and it lives in our mind. We take our mind to going to the end in a future time, a later date. And I said the end, so if we're thinking about the holidays, we could say maybe after Christmas or right before New Year's. And we could think of this time, these next few weeks, and think about the future you. Let's just pick December 31st. This podcast is coming out the first week of December. So go to that person, that you version. What does she tell you, or what does she say about the prior weeks? Did she experience a more peaceful, easy, enjoyable, just kind of spacious, abundant time during this holiday season? That's probably the version you want to tap into. Your brain might say, well, no, it was busy and it was packed full of things and I didn't get to enjoy it and it was rushed and this circumstance came up and kind of put me off balance. But that's naturally what your brain's going to go to and show you. But I want you to stay with me here and know that one of your greatest assets that you can tap into in your brain is to go to that future you, again, at the end of this month. And let's say you did create a holiday season of being like having a plan, following through on the plan, everything kind of, went as you had hoped. You showed up in your joyous, happy, best version of yourself. Whenever there was something that kind of went awry or expectations weren't met or plans changed, you handled it in a calm and confident way. That future version, I want you to ask and think about her. Think about her for a moment. What did she think and how was she feeling and what did she do during the holiday time in order to create the results that I just sort of had you imagining was possible for you? If you spend some time realizing that in order for her to create that experience that she wanted, she had to have been thinking certain thoughts, been feeling certain feelings that drove certain actions, including not doing certain things. So what were they? And if your brain offers that it doesn't know because you haven't had it yet, you haven't experienced yet, I just want to let you know that you have had enough life experience and gone through enough holiday seasons to kind of imagine and see what could trip you up. So you also know that when you haven't experienced the ease in the holiday seasons that you wanted, there were certain thoughts and feelings and actions that you took. Just spend some time writing down what those are that would be helpful for you. Have a plan, what I call like a belief plan, a holiday thought plan. And that's you taking a guess at if you were thinking and believing these certain thoughts, then it would have you feeling better and taking the actions that you want to. And I did say one of the key words, plan. This is where I want, when we tap into our future selves, we are helping our focus in our mind go to what we call the higher brain, the prefrontal cortex. It's here where you can make decisions ahead of time and where you can be the boss and take charge of your life. And when we tap into our future selves in order to create the most easeful holiday season, it will take us tapping into this part of our brain, the higher. Make a plan. If you were doing the things that you want to be doing in the next few weeks, what would that be? What do you want to take off your plate? What do you want to stop doing that you know won't bring ease to your life? So for example, it could mean that instead of making a holiday meal from scratch, that you purchase it and have it delivered. It might mean that you set some boundaries around where you're going to spend your time if you are going to choose to do some certain holiday parties and have to say no to some others. What is it that you want to plan out when you will have your shopping days, or when you will get Christmas cards out? Or maybe you're deciding that you're going to, do it online and you're not sending Christmas cards out this year. Taking some time to tap into the higher brain to make the strategies there. One of the strategies is this tapping into your future self. And then the other strategies is to plan out what your ideal, most easeful holiday season would look like. And then when you do this ahead of time, this is when your brain will offer you the obstacles, why it'll tell you that it's impossible or that it'll be hard to do this or uncomfortable to, deny somebody who's asking to be with you during the holidays or something like this. But I just promise you that if you want to purposely create and be intentional about having more ease in your holiday season, it is up to you to decide what that would look like. Even if it doesn't 100% work out that way, I guarantee that by taking the time and making some plans ahead of time and for just kind of really sitting with and thinking about what your future version that had the peaceful holiday season, what she was thinking, feeling, and doing, you are definitely more likely to perhaps hit 80% of these goals. And we know from, if you are a longtime listener, that I love 80%. It equates to a B-. But again, isn't that much better than 0 or 10% or 20%? Okay, so that is number one, to have more of an easeful holiday. Number two, and I alluded a little bit to this, I want to talk about people pleasing and getting strategies around not people pleasing this holiday season. So really what that is that people pleasing is when you are asked from another human or have placed expectations within yourself on what humans should do, including yourself, what you should say yes to and what you should say no to, and how that makes you either a kind person or a nice person or a good person. When we say yes to other people's requests, or because we think that it's going to influence what they think about us, when we really deep inside our heart want to say no, or have thoughts that wouldn't be the best for us, or if you've made a decision to protect your time and your energy, or your resources, when you really want to say no, but then you say yes, that is what people pleasing is. And essentially, how I want you to look at it is that it's not telling the other person your real truth. It can equate simply down to a lie. We could be lying to ourselves, and we could be lying to the other humans. And this gets us into trouble and brings up problems for us. And in the way at the holiday season is that it keeps us from having the ease and making things easy for ourselves. It keeps us from that. So what I recommend to you is to bring awareness and ask yourself, in the actions that you're taking and what you're deciding to do when you plan out how to have an easeful holiday season, are you people pleasing? Are you saying yes to things you really want to say no to? And are you spending so much mental energy thinking, what will other people think about me if I do this or don't do this? And I want to let you know that there is another option. You could be honest. And if you just try this, if you just experiment this holiday season, that if you were true to yourself and your wants, to see what comes of it. Okay. And I would like to take the guess from all of my experience in coaching others about their interactions with family members and other people, that it is best for both parties for you to not come from an energy of people pleasing and really just being honest. So that is number 2, to bring more ease to your holidays. And number 3 is I contemplated doing these separately, because where I find where most people get stuck around how they are feeling in the holiday season is around both of these 2 subjects. And the 2 subjects are money and time. And I could have them as 2 separate steps, but I actually think it's going to benefit you to see how they are so similar and very connected. In how I would teach you to help having more ease in both the subject of money and time really is the same path. It's the same way. So I want them to go together, and I want to speak to them about in the same way, because both money and time is not something that I coach on just at the holiday seasons. It's more prevalent when we have a lot of things that are added to our calendars, and to make the holiday season, it requires us to use more money or spend more money than we might usually do at other times of the year. So we want more ease around both of these topics, money and time. And if you spend some time and apply what I am going to offer you here, I promise you this will inject peace into your money and time results. And again, I want you to keep using them way past the holiday season. So the first thing that I want to offer you regarding money and time to have more ease is for you to focus in on what your current circumstances around both are. Okay. What I mean by that is when we talk about the model, that if you're a new listener, this might not, make total sense to you, but for those that have listened to me for a long time will know that I talk about really separating out what is truly the facts going on in your life. And in this instance, how much money do you currently have and how much time do you currently have? And then there's the thoughts that we have about our money and about our time. And we really want to focus in on what is actually a fact about it and what is our thought about it. Because what you create as a result, how much you spend both money and time-wise, is your result. But that doesn't come from the fact and circumstance of what you have as far as money and time right now. Okay? So the result that you have, whether your money grows or you have less, or how you feel about how you've spent it, spending both your money and time, comes from your thoughts about the facts of your money circumstances, not the results that you create and want to create. So in this instance, you want to feel more easeful about how you've spent your money and time. And that doesn't come from what the facts are about your money. It comes from your thoughts about it. And I want you to know that it's okay to change both the circumstances of our money, and it will, right? It flows. Money flows. You're going to spend. Some's going to come in. You're going to donate some. You're going to invest some, right? You're going to have money going out, coming in. You're going to have the money that you have and you don't spend. And it's okay to change that. And it's okay to decide to change the result that you are getting with your money. I just want to offer you that both time and money and the results you get from it, whether you have a whole bunch of time or you think that you spend it well, still comes from what you think. So we can change our circumstances about our money and we can change our results. It's totally okay. But just know what the change is coming from, and it's coming from our thoughts about money. Because here is, and maybe I should have started here, but really this is why. It's because money in itself and time in itself is just an agreed upon concept. It's both a social and a mental construct. Because if you can picture like a dollar bill and picture $100 bill, right? In itself, that piece of paper doesn't have value. The piece of paper is not actually valuable. The piece of paper is a representation of value that we have, like mankind, have just decided to add that value to the piece of paper. We've decided that when you trade this particular piece of paper with this particular president on it and this number of the 20 or the 100 represents value. But notice how it still just comes from our mind, like it was made up. People got together and then agreed upon this concept of what it represented. And it really is the same thing about time. Right? There was no clocks. There was no minutes, hours. 24 hours is like the day. There could be some other name and some other just kind of time to it that we all agree upon. Recently, when I'm recording this, we had a time change, right? Where we have, where we fall back and spring forward. That was just made up. See how people agreed upon it, and then all of a sudden we changed what the clock said. So when we know this, when we know that both money and time is literally a mental construct, it tells you that you have the option to think and believe anything you want about the 24-hour cycle or how much money is in your savings account. And we want to be careful that we are choosing to think thoughts that serve us and help us when it comes to how we feel about both our money and time. Because if we're feeling better about both of those subjects, feeling more easeful about it, feeling more peaceful, feeling more in control, feeling more confident with how we're spending both our money and our time, your whole experience of money and time is going to be more positive. And so in order to get to where that is true for you, when you're loving your experience with both money and time, you first have to explore what your current thoughts and beliefs are about them. So, do you feel like you don't have enough of either of it? Are you always feeling that way? Behind in your time, not enough money, always behind in making money. So I invite you, if you want more ease this holiday season in both of those subjects, again, carve out some time to ask yourself, what are my thoughts about making money at this time in my life, inheriting money, paying for the necessities, paying for luxuries, donating money, saving money, investing money, charging for things. What are your current thoughts? And you can then see that you have thoughts about having money, and you have thoughts about money that's going out, and you have thoughts that are coming in. But are they creating scarcity for you when you think them? Are you feeling scarcity about the time you have to do the things you want to do and feel the way you want to feel? Or are you feeling abundant? And notice that if you are in scarcity, you're going to get results that create scarcity for you. And if you can shift once you see them and get an understanding of what you're really thinking about these thoughts behind your money and time, you want to move and pivot and shift towards feeling more abundant. Because we know that the peace, the ease, the abundance in our money and time that we want in our holiday season comes from your mind. That is your God-given power to create more of something and of what you want. And so what would you need to be thinking to feel abundant? Which is just like me telling you to tap into your future self. If she completed a holiday season that was the most peaceful and ease of her life, she must have been thinking thoughts of abundance and not scarcity. So this is how you will know. Scarcity shows up when we are feeling things like self-pity, fear, blame, and shame. Self-pity thoughts might look like life is hard or poor me. Fear comes from not enough or thinking about how the future is doom and gloom. It will cause us to feel fear. Blame. If we think that if only my spouse made more money, then I wouldn't be in this situation. Or if the government wouldn't take so much of my taxes, then I would have more money. If you're in blame. Or shame, where you think that you are feeling shame over how you're spending your time. If you're lazy and not doing anything towards, going after what you want. Or if you have a thought like, I'm a terrible person, or I'm terrible with money and I'm not, again, you can see that this shame, blame, fear, self-pity, this will tell you you're in scarcity, and you won't be in a place of feeling like you want to take the actions to go after having that more easeful holiday season. But how you know you're in abundance, and this is what I want your takeaway to be today, is that you will find yourself logically having well thought out, purposeful, intentional thoughts about your short term and long term with time and money. You will find yourself feeling capable to go after what you want or to make the decisions that would have you having a more easeful holiday season. You'd be willing to try new things, to step out of the status quo and do it differently. If you had a busy, overwhelming, not peaceful, not fun time last season, you got to be willing to make some shifts and changes. We can feel more abundant when we call on our faith in God and faith in yourself, right? Because He's there to help inject peace in this season. And if we are putting faith in Him and ourselves, knowing that we can create what we want, gratitude for what we already have automatically brings ease and injects peace into holiday seasons. If you every day just kept that focus about what you already have, I guarantee that alone will help you shift in abundance. And the last one is love, right? What if that's all you focused on? Love for yourself, love for others, love for your time, love for your money, love for your decisions and choices, love for, right, our families, all of it. What if you asked, what would love do here? Or what would love be thinking? And how could I create the feeling of love? It's going to put you also attracting those other feelings that bring ease, which is calm and confidence and control. Okay, everyone. So let me just recap, right? You want your holidays made easy. And the strategies that I've given you in this podcast will create that for you. If you are planning from your higher brain, taking that time to tap into your future self and exploring what thoughts, feelings, and actions you would have to be thinking, feeling, and doing or stop doing today to bring on ease, you will it's just inevitable for you to bring more ease to the holidays. If you decide on purpose that you are going to live this next month and then beyond in total truth of what it is that you know you want to say yes to or what you want to say no to and relinquish people pleasing, you will bring ease to this season. And if you explore what current scarcity thoughts you have about your money and your time, and instead generate thoughts and feelings of abundance and how I've laid it out in this podcast today, you will create more ease in your holiday season. So thank you for joining me today. Again, now I will be coming back every week into your podcast feed. And I really do hope that you found this helpful for you to start today with all the ease and peace moving into these next few weeks and beyond. And I've got some other podcasts coming up for this month, these episodes that will also piggyback on this and will truly help you have more ease in your holiday season. So I look forward to talking to you then. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Peaceful Mind Podcast. Are you ready to take everything I teach you here and put it to work for your own life? To really learn how to have peace of mind no matter what is happening around you? If so, I'd love to have you as a client. As your coach, this is where you'll get personal and focused time on your own mind using life coaching tools, concepts, and proven life-transforming wisdom, all through a faith-filled lens. To learn more about how we can work together, come on over to DanielleTienel.com. There, you'll see how to sign up for a free coaching consult and learn how to get started. Until next time, peace be with you always.